What was that?
Good afternoon from Mission Control Houston at the International Space Station Flight Control Room in Houston, Texas. You're looking at a live view of the Soyuz MS-21 spacecraft docked to the Prichal module. It's shown on the left of your screen there, and on the right-hand side is the Soyuz MS-19 spacecraft, which will be heading back home to Earth on March 30th. The Soyuz MS-21 spacecraft docked to the Prichal module at 2:12 p.m. Central Time, 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon, after completing a 2-orbit, 3-hour rendezvous that began with the launch of the Soyuz at 10:55 a.m. Central Time from the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Don, this is Moscow.
Russian cosmonauts Oleg Artemyev, Denis, Matveev, and Sergey Korsakov are still in the Soyuz spacecraft, running through some final leak checks on the Soyuz side of the docking interface.
Page 70.
Just a short time from now, the small vestibule or passageway between the Soyuz and the Prichal module will be pressurized, and hatches will be able to be opened.
Our direction. Please repeat.
To recap some of the milestones that have occurred so far today, the Soyuz MS-21 and their crew launched to the International Space Station at 10:55 and 18 seconds Central Time. They lifted off from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Then, 8 minutes and 46 seconds later, third stage separation occurred of the booster, and the solar rays and navigational antennas deployed just moments later, beginning the 2-orbit journey to the International Space Station. Then, just about 3 hours later, the Soyuz MS-21 arrived and docked to the Prichal module for the first time ever, and the docking probe on the Soyuz retracted and hooks closed on both sides of the docking interface to form a hard mate between the Soyuz MS-21 and the International Space Station. Again, the Soyuz MS-21 docked just hours ago at 2:12 p.m. Central Time, and you can see it there on the left-hand side of your screen.
Regulator 1, is that correct? Yes, RPV 1 is closed now. Copy.
We're just under 15 minutes now from the scheduled hatch opening, slated to occur at about 4:30 p.m. Central Time.
Johnny, this is the ISS crew. ISS pressure is 749 millimeters. 749, copy. And what are our next steps?
Ожидаем пока. Ждем.
And bye for now.
МКС «Суп Москвы», канал СГ-2 для Антона по открытию.
Station Moscow on Space to Ground 1 for Anton regarding the hatch opening.
And the crew inside the Soyuz is continuing to step through link check procedures with the ground ahead of hatch opening.
Anton, you can proceed with the opening of the hatches from your side. Copy, in work.
Don, it's from Moscow. Ждем.
So this is Moscow. We're standing by for the OBSU hatch opening by the ISS crew. ISS docking port hatch. OBSU.
Да, сейчас.
Yes, correct.
Со стороны станции откроют люк.
So they will start opening the hatch from their side. Copy. And what are we supposed to do next?
Вот пока ждем, когда
Stand by for now.
мы вам да-
And when they open the hatch, we'll give you directions and we'll give you a go to proceed with the steps that are in the box on page 70. Copy.
And as you just heard there, the crew on board the International Space Station will begin procedures to open the hatch on their end. Following a series of leak checks on the Soyuz side, the hatch will be opened, but prior to that, vestibule pressurization will occur. And then once hatches are open, the 3 Russian cosmonauts inside the Soyuz MS-21 will float aboard and be greeted by the Expedition 66 crew.
Copy. In work.
This will increase the space station population from 7 to 10 crew members. Currently on board the International Space Station are NASA astronauts Raja Chari and Tom Marshburn, as well as ESA, or European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, Roscosmos cosmonauts Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov, and NASA astronauts Caleb Barron and Mark Vande Hei. And with every passing second, NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei continues to break the record for longest single spaceflight by an American astronaut. When he returns to Earth on March 30th aboard the Soyuz MS-19, he will have spent a total of 355 days in space. And you're now seeing a view inside the space station, continuing to work through procedures ahead of hatch opening coming up here shortly. And on your screen you see Roscosmos cosmonaut Anton Shkaplerov working through procedures to open the hatch on his end. He's currently inside the Nauka module of the International Space Station.
Заглушки нашли?
So were you able to find the caps? Yes. We have located those a while back, actually. Copy.
Написано в книге «Орбитальный полет»,
And
страница 39.
And once Anton Shkaplerov opens up the hatch, the vestibule pressurization will begin. That process will take several minutes, and then the crew will be given the go on the Soyuz side to open the Soyuz hatch.
procedure, etc. Okay, copy all. And also your goal to put the second suit for drying. So I guess we need to check that list. Stand by.
Moscow Station on Space to Ground 2. Go ahead on Space to Ground 2.
We're going to have to remove.
Have you
this one,
equalized the
and
pressure?
then, we're going to put it for drying.
Да, можно приступать к открытию.
Yes.
КВД открывал.
And you can open the KVD valve. Yes, we have the PV valve open.
Звук не поддается, да?
And well, I'm going to try and open the hatch right now. Everything's looking good. Are you receiving the video?
Видим, наблюдаем.
Yes, we are.
And the crew inside the Soyuz have worked through vestibule pressurization process and procedures, and soon will be opening up the hatch.
Okay, I guess it's your turn now.
And you now see both Anton Shkaplerov and Pyotr Dubrov inside the hatch, as well as European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer. They're working together to open up the hatch. And the hatch is open.
Look, this is
right. I guess I can hear Anton now. Okay, go ahead. Stand by.
Next up, we'll be awaiting hatch opening on the Soyuz side.
Да, ребят, видим, молодцы.
guys. We can see you. Good job.
Denis, по Москве.
Denis, this is MCC Moscow. Go ahead.
Станционный люк открыт.
ISS hatch is open. Yes, ISS hatch is open. So your go to execute the stuff in the box frame. Stand by. Let us stow the suit first. Copy.
Moscow station on Space Ground 2. Go ahead on Space Ground 2. We have the hatch open. We're going to get it secured in a second, and the Soyuz crew can open the hatch. Good job.
Now just standing by for hatch opening on the Soyuz side.
All right.
Did you start the timer? Okay, let's do it. Moscow, Denis, go ahead. The second suit has been put for drying as well, and we also noted the time. Copy.
And we are now seeing the Soyuz hatch there. We'll stand by for it to swing open momentarily.
Please proceed with pressure equalization. Stand by one, please. Stand by. I'm returning to the orbital module now. All right. So pressure equalization. I'm gonna need to close the container.
And now just joining inside the space there is NASA astronaut Mark Vande Hei.
So you were saying that
Again, with every second that passes, Mark Vande Hei continues to break the record for longest single space flight by an American.
This is
Anton,
monitoring valve. Yes, correct.
please
Go
do
ahead
not
and
forget to
open
put
the
the
KVD valve. It
PV
is
valve
now
in the
open.
electrical control mode.
The pressure is 747. And I'm opening the KVD pressure equalization valve. Yes, correct. KVD BOS.
Inside the Soyuz, the crew is working through vestibule pressurization. Once this is complete, the crew will be given the go on the Soyuz side to open up the Soyuz hatch, and they'll be welcomed aboard the International Space Station.
Inaudible KVD is open now and standing by for 2 minutes. Should pass after the pressure equalization once the pressure starts changing. Yes, that's correct. So it was at 817 and it is 814 now. Copy.
Так, 812.
812. Copy.
Олег Георгиевич, у нас по консервации есть рекомендации.
So we have a few recommendations for you on the deactivation. Yes, go ahead. So this is orbital flight procedure.
Надо приготовиться, записать.
Please make
Now joining is NASA astronaut Kayla Barron.
Okay, so you were saying orbital flight procedure, correct? Yes, correct. So orbital flight. What page is it? Page 25. 25.
Вот, надо будет.
Ready to copy?
Rajachari, Tom Marshburn as well. Also, the entire crew will be in this space to welcome the Soyuz MS-21 crew aboard the International Space Station. Standing by for hatch opening.
So you were saying page 38, so is deactivation. So I guess we can do that after hatch opening, correct? Yes, sure. You'll do that later. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So once we transfer to the station, we'll put that in work shortly after. Yes. And we're going to remind you about that later. Okay. I will put it in work. So, page 36, item 4 and 5 should not be executed. So,
And if you're just joining us, we are awaiting hatch opening of the Soyuz MS-21 spacecraft, which docked to the International Space Station earlier this afternoon at 2:12 p.m. Central Time. Prior to that, Soyuz MS-21 completed a 2-orbit rendezvous after launching from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. That liftoff occurred on time at 10:55 and 18 seconds Central Time.
item 4.5. Okay, copy all. And also, you're going to have to change out the ESA purification cartridge. The steps are specified on page 35.
One for Anton. Anton, please do not forget to put the PEV cover the valve into electrical control mode.
35, step 3. Yes, you're going to have to swap
Go ahead
the
on
1 and
space
press
ground
3.
2.
Нужно КВД в электроуправление перевести.
Please
Okay,
put the
copy all.
cover the valve
I
in
should,
the electrical control mode.
Swap the
Copy
1 with
in work.
3.
PVV cover the valve, cover the is in electrical control mode. The PV valve covered is in electrical control mode.
So is everything clear here? Yes.
Хорошо. Еще надо будет перенести.
All right. And also, you're gonna have to transfer items from MRM-2 to the Soyuz orbital module. And these items are as follows: AFOT filter 2, AFOT 2M. Yes, correct. And it has a barcode 0014. Stand by. Stand by, please. 0014 29 29 03 03 and G. J. Is it the AFOT filter number? Yes, correct. This is its barcode 0014 2903. Copy all. Yes, that's correct. And also BMP number 18. Copy. BMP number 18 and also 3 IPK gas masks. Copy. So to reiterate, it's a BMP unit and 3 IPKs. Copy. Sounds good. We'll transfer all of these items. And one more thing, suit number 3 should be put for drying in Soyuz 749. Copy. So please hand it over.
As the crew on Soyuz MS-21 continues to step through procedures ahead of hatch opening, inside the space station, the crew on board is preparing to welcome them.
All right.
The International Space Station is currently flying over the Pacific Ocean, approaching the northwest coast of South America.
Deactivated manually in case of fire. All right, we'll turn them off manually in case of fire. Moscow, com check.
We're in a brief expected handover between satellites, but should regain communications here shortly.
Oleg Germanovich.
Oleg Germanovich. Yes, go ahead.
Так, еще по короткой схеме, страница 7.
And also for the short to-orbit rendezvous, page 72, please stand by. All right, to orbit or short rendezvous profile, page 72. Page 72. All right, I pulled up page 72.
После перехода на станцию.
So once you transfer to the station and open the hatches, of course, you're going to have to go back to the Soyuz. Okay.
Нижнюю рамку, надо будет в нижней рамке отключить дуплекс ВПУ.
And you're going to have to deactivate the duplex intercom unit, the VPU, and the MBS also. Okay, page 72. After we're done with all of the other steps we're going to have to execute the actions that are here in this frame on page 72. Yes, that's correct. And you're going to have to install a KSD-S2 cap once you open the hatches. Okay, sounds good. And also, you'll have to deactivate the atmosphere purification units in the orbital module and install a cap. All right, we will put it all in work. And we're basically waiting for you guys. Okay. Sounds good. We'll get busy.
Station Moscow, space to ground 2 for Pyotr. Pyotr, no response required. You are just covering up the camera a little bit, so could you please make sure that
Stand by.
we have a clear view of the
descent module
hatch?
So let me check that. So
now that's looking great.
the pressure reading is 749.
Принято 749.
Copy. 749. That's correct. And we need to make sure that the pressure is stable throughout the 2 minutes. Yes, we will check that right now.
Standing by to confirm that pressurization is stable. And to recap some of the milestones from today, the journey for 3 Russian cosmonauts began to the International Space Station at 10:55 a.m. Central Time, 11:55 a.m. Eastern Time, with liftoff from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Then 8 minutes and 46 seconds later, third stage shutdown and separation occurred on the Soyuz booster. Soyuz performed a series of as-expected burns to propel the Soyuz into its preliminary orbit for a 2-orbit, 3-hour journey to the International Space Station. Docking occurred at 2:12 p.m. Central Time earlier this afternoon. And we are now standing by for hatch opening.
Oleg, do you think you'll be able to come back here prior to the conference and complete the steps on page 72? Of course, we'll do it all. And we have the whole night coming up.
Открываем люк.
Go ahead and open the hatch.
Guys, just FYI, we have equalizer pressure. We are going to
go for hatch opening.
Visible pressure monitoring valve. Closing KKT valve. So what page are we on now? Page 70. Closing KKT valve. Closing, and it is now closed. Go ahead and close the PV valve.
We should see the Soyuz MS-21 hatch open here shortly.
So, is everyone dressed? So that goes over here. And the next page is page 71, item 8.1. All right, switching to page 71. opening the BOSU hatch. So I'm gonna have to set the lever for the hatch tool stopper. Did you see the hatch tool? The hatch tool, there it is. It should be here. Stand by. Yes, everything is in correct configuration. It is where it should be. What was that? All right. So yeah, almost there. They're knocking already. All right. So I'm supposed to do 6 to 7 turns.
Russian cosmonauts Oleg Artemyev, Denis Matveev, and Sergey Korsakov working through final procedures ahead of hatch opening.
I'm gonna put that away to make sure it's not in the way.
Huh?
What was that? Nope. I guess they're somewhere. I'm not sure where. They mean the ones for the crew? No. I'm not sure where I put mine. And the flashlight is not there. No, it's not for the crew. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So they aren't going to let us in. All right, opening the hatch now.
And we should see the hatch open here in just a moment.
Halfway there.
Давай, давай.
Go ahead.
Опа.
Go. That's right.
The hatch is open.
Так.
Hatch opening occurring at 4:48 p.m.
All right. Hooray. All right, go for it. All right, go ahead. Go first. But be careful.
Давай.
What was that? Yes, go ahead. And I'm going to finish up here.
First through the hatch is Denis Matveev.
Denis, go ahead.
Так, тут Москвы.
Moscow.
First through the hatch was Korsakov. Next up is Denis Matveev.
Yes, so are we going to transfer? And I'm signing off, correct? Yes, sounds good. Your go. All right.
And next up we'll see Soyuz commander Oleg Artemyev as he floats through the hatch. And all 3 Russian cosmonauts are now aboard the International Space Station. In a short while, the crew will complete a routine safety briefing being led by the commander of the International Space Station, Anton Shkaplerov. And recapping some milestones from today, the journey to the International Space Station for 3 Russian cosmonauts began at 10:55 a.m. Central Time with liftoff from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. 8 minutes and 46 seconds after liftoff, third stage was shut down and separation occurred on the Soyuz booster. Then, just seconds later, the Soyuz automatically commanded its solar arrays and navigational antennas to deploy. The Soyuz performed a series of nominal burns to propel the Soyuz into its preliminary orbit for a 2-orbit, 3-hour journey to the International Space Station. The Soyuz docked to the Prichal module on the Russian segment of the International Space Station at 2:12 p.m. Central Time, and the docking probe on the Soyuz retracted. Hooks were closed on both sides of the docking interface to form a hard mate between the Soyuz MS-21 and the International Space Station. Following this, a series of leak checks took place, the vestibule was repressurized, and the crew floated through the hatch at 4:48 p.m. Central Time, 5:48 p.m. Eastern Time. With the Soyuz MS-21 and its crew now safely aboard the International Space Station, that will wrap up our coverage for today. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Mission Control Houston.